It's Friday. Now let's get to it. Speeches Pit Party kicking off November 22nd, 2024. You can get a hold of me at 208-535-1015. We are now less than a week away from Thanksgiving. I'm sure a lot of people this weekend are going to be doing those Friendsgiving gatherings. My parents and their neighbors do this big Friendsgiving back at home. This started back in 2020. They'll just meet up in one of my neighbors' garages and just have a nice big table set up, put up some cheap Thanksgiving decor, all different. All the neighbors make something different. They all gather, eat together. One year, I just want to randomly show up and surprise them while they're at Friendsgiving. Show up with some Tupperware, say I'm ready to eat, stay for a whole week down there. Maybe next year. Well, you know what happens after Thanksgiving? We call it Black Friday, but plumbers call it Brown Friday because it's consistently the busiest day of the year for plumbers, averaging 50% more calls than the average Friday. The main culprits are clogs in kitchen sinks, the toilet situations, garbage disposals created, of course, by all the extreme cooking and eating done on Thanksgiving. Victor and I will be here doing our shows on Black or Brown Friday, depending on how you look at it. Now, if we eat a lot on Thanksgiving, which I'm sure we'll just have meals at our houses and come back and treat it like a regular day, but I'm sure if for some reason we have a Brown Friday ready to go, we'll go over to the East Idaho News side of the building, mess up their restroom. I'm only kidding. This almost seems like a bad thing for Sony. They just put out, they teamed up with Pizza Hut. I don't think Sony did anything with this at all. I think Pizza Hut just decided to do this for anybody who owns a PlayStation 5. They've unveiled a new gadget that allows gamers to keep their pizza warm using the heat from their PS5 consoles. Yeah, the pizza warmer is designed to look like a miniature pizza box, can hold several slices at once, and it's not for sale. They just decided, hey, you know what? Anyone interested in having one of these things can 3D print it at home. If you know somebody or you are that somebody that owns a 3D printer, you can use the free plans from Pizza Hut's website. I know Star here in the building has her own 3D printer. I don't have a PS5, but that could be a great Christmas gift for Victor. Get him that pizza warmer for his PlayStation, and that way he can definitely be that dude, that dad just chilling out on his lazy boy recliner, reaches over to the PS5, pulls out a slice of pizza. It's a good idea from Pizza Hut. To recline or not to recline? That is the question on every flight, sometimes even the source of tension between passengers. Whether or not it is rude to recline your seat has always been a topic for debate, but a recent Harris poll found that 41% of travelers are against seat reclining and would support a ban on reclining seats during domestic flights. Imagine being like a normal-sized person, right? Like you're maybe 5'8" to 6'1", shorter than that, 5'2" to 6'1". Somebody reclining their seat in front of you is not that big of a deal. But when you're 6'9" and you're trying to sit there already crunched up in a airplane seat, and you have some big fat dude in front of you, just, I'm going to recline my seat back, and then reclines it all the way back, and essentially his face is almost in your lap. It feels like I'm a spa worker at that point. Like I should just pull out the cucumber slices, give him a nice face mask, that type of thing. Why is it that all the seats on these flights are so close to one another, but yet somebody thought, you know what? What if we just made these seats reclined to make it even worse? There's an etiquette expert talking about this sort of thing named Joe Hayes. Etiquette expert, huh? I wonder how he got that title. Says that while it's every passenger's right to recline, they should understand that the person seated behind them is directly impacted by it. Well, of course, there's a TV for most airplanes on the back of seats. You just ruined that person's TV show. What if they're in a tense moment and you're like, I need to take a nap? Recline back, just ruin the whole entire flight for them. It would be awful. It was just yesterday I was talking about the bucket of chicken. No, it was 2 days ago, I think. The bucket of chicken KFC candle. If you really want to set the mood in your house, light that candle up. KFC now wanting to be a part of your Christmas as well. They want to make gift wrapping more interesting this holiday season. The fast food giant selling a lickable wrapping paper. Yeah, that tastes like Colonel's original recipe chicken. Now, imagine you're under the tree with all the presents. You're excited to open your presents. And then you see your sibling just start licking the wrapping paper, and you have no idea this exists. You're like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? There are also notes of cranberry sauce as well as sage and onion flavors inspired by KFC's limited edition stuffing stacker burger. Now, the warning, KFC warns that the paper is not intended to be eaten, but there will be some people who will eat the wrapping paper. It can only be licked only on specific parts of the paper that are indicated by that protective film that needs to be removed before licking. And now for the bad news, well, it's only available online in the UK and Ireland. So the point of me talking about this, there's no point. Unless you have a family member over in the UK or Ireland that wants to, Ireland that wants to ship out this wrapping paper to you. That, or you can just smear your own food onto the wrapping paper. Do it DIY style. Just take part of the Christmas dinner, smear it on the wrapping paper, and be like, you smell that? That's grandma's ham recipe. And this right here is your Shot Clock Sports Update. Jason Kelce is headed to late night. The former Philadelphia Eagle star was on Jimmy Kimmel last night and announced that he's getting his own late night TV show on ESPN. They call it Late Night with Jason Kelce, will air 5 consecutive Friday nights in January from the final week of the NFL regular season and through the playoffs until the Pro Bowl. ESPN says it will be taped in Philadelphia. It will be an immersive experience. The number 1 college football recruit in America, 5-star quarterback Bryce Underwood, flipped his pledge from LSU yesterday and committed to Michigan. He's from Belleville, Michigan, so the idea of staying in his home state must have been appealing. So was probably maybe the $10.5 million NIL deal Michigan put on the table for him to sign. That could make you make decisions real quick. Travis Hunter of the Colorado Buffaloes, he's one of the most unique college football players we've seen in decades because he plays both wide receiver and defensive back. Hunter plans to finish this historic season and then will declare for the 2025 NFL Draft. There's debate in the football world about the possibility of Hunter playing both offense and defense in the pros. We'll see how that goes. There's no debate that he'll be chosen very early in the draft by an NFL team. You know what? Let's make it 4 stories here today. The Washington Capitals announced yesterday that Alex Ovechkin will miss 4 to 6 weeks with a fractured fibula, which means his chase for Wayne Gretzky's goal record is definitely on hold. He's only 26 goals away from tying the record of 894. Ovechkin was on pace to possibly surpass Gretzky's record sometime this season, but the injury will likely push his quest for hockey history into the 2025-2026 season. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update. Right here on K-Bear 101. K-Bear 101, I just uploaded the latest Artist Interrogations episode. I shouldn't say latest because they are old interviews, but I'm just sort of catching up on all the interviews I have ever done and putting them out there on demand as part of the Artist Interrogations podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find all the artists that I've ever talked to so far. There's been a lot. There's been a lot in the almost 4 years that I've been here. The latest episode is with Brian Kuznets, the vocalist for Fame on Fire. I first got the chance to talk to him back in March of 2022. It was via Zoom, and the band was on tour. I forgot with who, but we talked for about 15 minutes about a wide variety of topics. You can find that in the Artist Interrogations podcast, or you can also simply find it on my page on demand wherever you get your podcasts on Peach's Pit Party. I wonder how many radio shows out there are going to put out some sort of Instagram reel or TikTok video about them duct taping a banana to the wall and then saying, hey, buy mine for a few $1 million. Save me from this industry. You know that famous banana duct taped to a wall in New York? It just sold for $6.2 million on Wednesday. The artwork, titled Comedian, was purchased by the Chinese cryptocurrency mogul Justin Sun. In the coming days, I will personally eat the banana as part of this unique artistic experience, is what he said of his recently acquired piece. The banana was purchased for just 35 cents. Comedian was first created by Maurizio Catalan in 2019. And for some reason, he just said, hey, you know what? I'm going to put this banana on the wall somehow, some way. That went up in value. It went viral, too. I'm talking about it right now. So there you go. $6.2 million. I honestly was thinking about doing that video, that type of video on our Facebook or Instagram, being like, hey, I'm going to tape a peach to the wall. Don't get Victor. This gave Victor probably an idea to let's tape peaches to the wall and say we taped a peach to the wall. Okay. No thanks. Peaches Pit Party on K-Bear 101, Idaho's only rock station. I just saw the news earlier today that Ellen and Portia, they both moved to the UK because they wanted out of the US. If you want to do something like that, that's cool. Go ahead and do it. It's entirely up to you. They have the money to buy a house randomly out there and just to chill out, live in the UK. Well, this tiny village of, what is it called? Olalai? Offering those disgruntled Americans an escape after the 2024 election, a house for $1.05. If you really want to escape, there you go. This is your opportunity to do so. The city is offering a home in need of renovations for just more than $1. Free temporary housing to select digital nomads and homes that are move-in ready for only $105,000. That's not too bad, right? The tiny town currently has a population of just 1,000 people. Americans will have a fast-track procedure. We are betting on them to help us revive the village. They are our winning card, is what the mayor, Francesco Colombu, said. Yeah, if you ever wanted to go to Italy, now's your chance to do so. Go move out there. Every single Monday or even Tuesday, I always go to Josh from Classy 97, and I chat with him about his team in fantasy football, just because he's the only other guy in the building playing fantasy. Well, besides Justin from 105 The Hawk, and I was thinking maybe for next year, it would be real fun and sort of funny to try to see Victor play fantasy football, Jade play it, try to do this whole Riverbend Media Group Fantasy Football League, have everyone in the building be a part of it, see how that turns out. Would be pretty fun. But have you ever finished all 10 weeks of fantasy football? According to a survey of about 2,000 Americans who participate, 20%, almost 20% of managers quit by week 6. That was our friend Christian in our league, me and my friend's league. Christian would play for like the first couple of weeks, and then he would complain about how annoying it is that each week he has to adjust his lineups, and then he would just try to trade his best players to everybody else and then just quit the league. Like he would do that, what they call that silent quitting thing, where like he's just there, but he's not really playing. He's doing the bare minimum with what he has, and he tried giving one of our other friends all of his great players, and luckily our commissioner, Ryan, said, nope, not happening, and declined that trade from happening, or sort of vetoed it. But this has been the first year, knocking on wood big time, that I have been successful with fantasy football. Usually I'm the worst person, and I still keep at it. If I'm like 3-11, I'll finish till the season's over. I'll finish when the season's over. I'll keep going. I'm not going to be like my friend Christian who just gives up. Nah. But so far, I'm 9-2. I'm hoping to win again this week. I've already clinched the playoffs. I'm excited. Hopefully my dad will make me a trophy because, my parents, they're trophy store owners. Maybe he'll send me one for Christmas. Would you look at that? Somewhere local made the radio prep. We mentioned this story previously, I think, on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, powered by Jalisco's, about the UPS employees that were accused of stealing $25,000 worth of Magic the Gathering cards. It made the radio prep that gets sent to every single radio station in the country. Sugar City, Idaho, the owner of an Idaho game store hoping to be compensated after 3 UPS workers allegedly stole what he believes to be at least $25,000 of merchandise and potential inventory sales from him. Even has his full name, Jarek Smith, owner of Holiday Fun and Games, says beginning in October of 2023, he noticed that multiple UPS packages containing his inventory weren't being delivered, and the company claimed they had been damaged. Well, turns out those 3 employees just stole those cards. Doesn't say their names, luckily. Doesn't say their names, but it does say the owner's name and promotes his store, too. Promoting a local business. That's pretty cool. All over the country. K-Bear 101, I remember I got in trouble with the neighbors that were behind our backyard wall. My bedroom was on the second floor, and the window faced the backyard, and you could easily see into the backyard of the neighbors behind us, including their windows, everything. And so at one point I had a laser pointer, and me and my former best friend Bobby, we were both just hanging out there, and we're like, you know what, let's point a laser pointer into their house, see if they get scared by it. Well, that person ended up yelling they ended up coming out to the backyard going, hey, stop pointing that laser pointer, it's scaring my mom, and got me in trouble. Luckily, I would never point a laser pointer at a police chopper, police man, police anything. This 36-year-old dude named Cody was arrested for allegedly shining a laser at a police helicopter. You know, one of those very powerful laser pointers that could really go the distance? Yeah, officers reportedly found Cody hiding behind his mobile home wearing red shorts. And when asked, the Riverview, Florida man reportedly said he was just being stupid. At least he's honest. Well, there's been a lot of stories about animals breaking out of facilities or breaking into places. A deer was caught on camera breaking into the window of a Tennessee gym. The buck was spotted running across a treadmill. Ended up spending 2 hours in the women's locker room. What a peep, huh? Unfortunately, the animal left a smelly surprise at the Competitive Edge and Fitness facility. He took a big dump in there. Didn't even flush, is what the owner said. He posted that on social media. Luckily, he found it funny. Members of the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency were able to just remove the buck. No people or animals were harmed. Just a fun little thing that happened that probably went viral on social media and now promoted their gym in a silly way, a very silly way. I know we're approaching that time of the year where it's going to be harder to travel to Salt Lake City or Boise, but if you're up for it, there are still a good amount of shows left for through the end of the year. Go to our concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com. The easiest way to get it is to go to riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. And then there are plenty of shows that are already lined up for the early part of next year. 2 days from today on Sunday, Better Lovers going to be at the Complex in Salt Lake City. You got Royal Bliss at the Depot. What is that? The 29th next Friday. And then in Pocatello on 410 South Main Street, Mosh for Santa 6. There you go. 3 shows happening here fairly soon. And then the next show is not until February 4th, where you have Silverstein at the Complex in Salt Lake City. Then you also have Victims and this band called 156 Silence at the Pearl on Main, February 4th as well. Excited for all the shows next year. Go to our concert calendar, riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. K-Bear 101, Idaho's only rock station. Time for To Peach Their Own. And you know what? I decided to go towards that question, to use that question that we sort of talked about on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, powered by Jalisco's. You know that Wiltonator burrito that we talked about on the noon hour? That clip is uploaded on our social media pages at KBear 101 FM on Facebook and Instagram, and also our YouTube channel at KBear 101 RMG. The question today for To Peach Their Own: would you rather have a food item be named after you or a street named after you? Rulin put a food as long as it was some weird combo that nobody would want to order in their right minds. We had Coco say a street. Then we had Harold say, very interesting topic. My ancestors founded DeLand, Florida. I was going to move there from Louisiana and attend the university there. That never panned out due to Hurricane Katrina and ended up moving here to Idaho. With that being said, I'm sure there's a street there somewhere in the city named that as well. So for argument of this conversation, I'm actually going to pick a food. Interesting. I think I'd have to go for a street. I feel like a street's more prominent for me. Peach Street. Well, if I go to Georgia, there's tons of peach streets everywhere. Peach-related items. It would look like I would own the state of Georgia. Might need to move out there at some point. To peach their own, would you rather have a food item be named after you or a street named after you? Let me know. 208-535-1015. K-Bear, how's it going?
Good, Peaches. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Would you rather have a food item named after you or a street named after you?
I'd have to say street, but it wouldn't be like so-called a street. It'd be like a drive or a way.
Like a Sean Drive, a Sean Way?
Yes, sir. Like more sophisticated instead of just boring old street. Right. Everybody has a street.
What about circle? I feel like that would be the peak, right?
I mean, it depends on who's in your circle, really.
Like if you had a cul-de-sac, nice cul-de-sac in a neighborhood, I feel like that'd be fun.
Yeah. Or maybe like a dead-end street.
Sure, yeah.
Because your life's a dead end.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.